Okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Highwood Chill Show. This December 30th, we have another New Year's Eve show for you. I'm Nathan Creeps, joined by my co-host, Mr. Bryce Bortscheller. Bryce, is it never not going to be foggy here in the state of Iowa?
One straight week of fog, and it's affecting flights. Our good buddy Scotty B is stuck in Florida. He can't get back because of this fog.
Really?
Yeah, he had some issues on the way down with storms to Sarasota, and now he's stuck in Sarasota because of this fog.
What storms was he running into on the way down there? Because I saw he was at the airport forever in eastern Iowa.
I'm not sure. I don't think it was hurricane stuff. Maybe it was. I didn't even look into it, but I know that he was there for a day and a half before he was finally able to get on a Norwegian flight.
He was pumping some beers out at the eastern Iowa.
Yeah, he said he spent all of his vacation money on airport beers, which is I can't really blame him.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. Every day you just wake up, it's just there's no sunlight. I don't believe the sun exists anymore, and then there it is. It's just fog, and it's not just it's foggy, but some of it has been some of the worst fog I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and it's good for memes. It's bad for travel. Like I don't know. I've never seen this, and usually we're preparing for like polar vortex and heavy snow. Right now, it's just something I've never seen before. This is never ending.
Speaking of the polar vortex, you see what's coming?
Yeah, I did see. Yeah,
In like 2 weeks.
uh-huh.
It
Yep,
always
and
hits at the same time of year, right after around New Year's Eve.
yeah, and it's almost like it's planned at this point. Mother Nature knows that we're in the dumps, and she piles on, and it's part of
Yep.
living here, and it's something I've come to accept.
Yeah, that's for sure. And speaking of accepting, because I am accepting the fact that I'm ready to be done with the holiday season. I'm
Yeah, no,
tired.
absolutely.
I'm cooked from it. I'm sick of seeing people. I when I say accepting, I'm accepting for Mother Nature to make me physically and mentally depressed here for the next couple months. That way, come springtime, I can blossom like a nice little flower. But man, I am so sick of holidays.
It adds up. I know that we talked last week. I had already started my trips around the globe, it felt like, with Christmases, and we completed it pretty early. We were done by the 26th, but yeah, it wears on you, and it's fun. It's a lot of drinking. It's a lot of present opening, but yeah, it gets old, and New Year's is a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah, for sure. I will never buy scratch tickets again. I will totally buy scratch tickets again. But spent $100 and didn't win a single dollar. I mean, unbelievable. I bought two
That's
$50
terrible.
scratch tickets for each family. So every year I do like a little game for the family. I buy one $50 for one family, one $50 for the other. Have them play a little game. The winner gets it. And then to find out the end, no one won a damn dollar off it.
Not even a little bit, huh?
Unbelievable. No,
So
nothing.
yeah, I want to say that my dad spent $15 on the $2 tickets, and he went exactly even. He made $30, and we just gave it to
That's a
one
win.
person. I think in the White Elephant, I might have won $5. That one that we did a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's
Okay.
kind of rigged. We're all struggling over here in Iowa. Meanwhile, there's somebody in California that just won the Mega Millions,
Oh my God. Is it Death Taxes? Someone in California winning the Mega Millions. Well,
and
Mega
they need it too.
Billions.
Well,
We were joking
I go ahead.
at the table because one of my cousins, one of Madison's cousins, was talking about, oh, I bought the lottery ticket, but I haven't checked the numbers. And I jokingly said, I'm like, don't even check. I bet someone in California won it. And
Yeah.
her brother next to me is like, someone in California did win it again. Unbelievable.
hmm
It just keeps
Yeah.
happening.
And it's got to be planned because those tax rates out there are unbelievable. So the government's like, yeah, give it to California because then we'll get to take more than half of it. So
hmm
yeah, sorry about your scratchers. That sucks, but
I
yeah,
never
probably
learn.
never
I'll do
stop
the
doing
same
it.
thing.
hmm
Nope. I'll do the same thing next year. That's for sure. What are you up for New Year's Eve?
We don't know yet. It's kind of 4 or 5 years in a row where we get text messages from people like, "Hey, do you want to do something?" And it's like, yes, but it's kind of like we're at the age now where you want to do something perfect. It's not just let's go to the bar or whatever. So I don't know. Part of me just wants to hang out in Waukee, keep it chill, maybe do a little bar hopping like we did for the Iowa Chill Christmas party. I don't know yet. What are you doing?
I don't want to do anything. I got
Yeah,
bent up my ass right now trying to get over to Cedar Falls. And like I said, dude, we've talked about this every episode here the last 2 weeks, but everything just fell on a shitty day this year. It's a Wednesday.
yeah.
I got to go work tomorrow. I get Wednesday off, obviously, but come Thursday, Friday, I got to go back, and I'll be ready for the weekend because we're going to be celebrating Madison's birthday party on
Oh, nice.
Saturday.
Yeah.
We're going to do some bowling, maybe go to the casino. So I don't know. I don't want to do anything. I'll be honest. I'm sick of the
Yeah.
holidays right now. I don't want to even think about celebrating New Year's. My perfect New Year's for me is just watching the Boise State versus Penn State game tomorrow night.
Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing for me is like, sure, like we can do whatever New Year's Eve, watch that Penn State game, and then just really get my mind right for all the Final Four college football playoff games. Yeah, and as we're speaking, like there's New Year's plans coming in. Like I'm not kidding you, more texts coming in. I have no interest at all in doing anything.
Oh, dude, I'm so tired. Look at me, I'm dead. Even though I'm dead, I'm going to be going bar hopping. We'll be for the Iowa game today. We'll be jumping into that here later in the episode. But I do want to bring up some good Iowa news, some funny Iowa news. So Bo Prabilla, the former backup Penn State Nittany Lion quarterback that was considering transferring to Iowa and took a last-second visit to Old Missouri, and Missouri claimed him. But before this was the case, when we thought Iowa was going to land this highly touted transfer guy, Michael, my cousin, and a bunch of other Hawkeye fans were Venmoing him. And Michael sent him $2. And then after he announced his commitment over the Missouri, he requested that $2 back and said, Missouri dug your grave. And he, sure enough, Prabilla paid it back. So
did he really? Okay.
Yeah, he paid it back. So I wonder if he went through all those, because I know he was getting hammered. I mean, it was like trending on Iowa's social media pages of his Venmo. So people were lighting his Venmo up. So I wonder if he gave all that money back. I sure hope he did because he just got $1.5 million from Missouri.
Yeah, dude, that's actually a scary situation. I don't know if I would even accept that money because then if like you do change your mind, I mean, you're technically, you kind of owe those people back. I don't know. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, I think you send those Venmos as a gift, so I don't know if they're technically refundable. But I love
socially that you owe them back for sure. But that was just fine.
There's no chance you're not beating a team that you decommitted from that, and in the back of your mind, you're dropping back for a pass, and you know that you owe Michael Berkey $2. There's no way you're completing that pass.
Yeah, and it's ironic because now we play Missouri here in the bowl game, so hopefully we can rub in his face. I don't know where Missouri's getting this money because they gave $600,000 to Tony Perkins. They're stealing over guys right now.
Yeah, they got some wealthy donors from the cities for sure.
Jesus.
Yeah. There's a
shouldn't there be money going to Kansas City Chiefs football? Is it what's his name? Veenstra? Is Veenstra donating all this money to Mizzou?
Yeah. The Veenstras definitely are contributing, and as they should.
Tell them to knock it off.
Quality education. Yeah, I don't know. I from what I heard, my uncle lives in St. Louis. They just have a bunch of rich donors from the cities that go to fraternities, get jobs back in their hometown. So yeah, they got money to spend, but you know, it's the heart and soul of the Hawkeyes that will prevail. I have faith. So you mentioned bar hopping. Wait. We got to get into
Yeah, so we do have some sad Iowa news, it looks like here. It looks like you got a little something noted for us.
Yeah, no, actually really, really great Iowa news. Mary Sauter, I hope I pronounced her name right, retired Albia teacher, has been raising thousands of dollars to give children around the state of Iowa that can't afford gifts every year for Christmas. She's up to like $75,000 per year through the Pay It Forward program and through an annual golf tournament. So once again, she was able to give tons of kids around the state of Iowa free gifts, especially to families that couldn't afford it. So awesome story. She's been doing this, I think, for 13 years now.
She raises money through golf tournaments?
Yeah, and the Pay It Forward program, which I don't remember exactly how that works, but I believe it's through the Iowa public school system, and just, grabbing donations from families that can afford to donate. So yeah, just really, really cool. She's done a lot in Albia, but I believe all the money goes throughout the state.
Oh, it's cool. Good. I love to hear little good stories like that. We do have some sad news here. Selection Sunday will never be the same. Greg Gumbel passed away. I think he passed away at the age of 78. So he was up there. Not super old, but he was up there. He was a Loras College alum. Did you know that?
Loras.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We always had Mount Vernon, I think. We were just talking about that with Michael Admire. That's a great little town. I did not know he graduated from there.
God. There's no Selection Sunday is arguably my favorite day in the entire year. and it's the background music, the March Madness theme, and then it opens up with Greg Gumbel. Welcome to the NCAA Selection Sunday show. Oh man, I get goosebumps thinking about it. I don't even. I'm sick. I'm sick thinking about it. I don't know who's going to replace him in that aspect, but what a great commentary. He had a lot of great calls throughout his life, not just in state tournament, but NFL as well. It, these people are always connected to Iowa somehow. Do you know that Bruce Jenner went to college in Iowa too?
Did he really? I didn't know that.
God, what's the college down in Lamoni? Do you know?
I don't.
I gotta look it up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. I actually got to correct myself. Loris is up in Dubuque. It's crazy. Yeah, Greg Gumbel, just a titan in the media industry.
Cornell is
yes,
is Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon.
Iowa College. It is Graceland University. So that's where Bruce Jenner began his athletic career there, and then ended up doing the triathlon there in the Olympics to win. So I hate to see it. Rest in peace to Greg Gumbel. Celebrate his career at the same time too. The guy was legendary voice and forever have a staple in it's my heart, especially Selection Sunday.
100%.
Bryce, I got a good question here for the Iowa question of the day. All right, I'm gonna put you in a scenario. Would you? Okay. So say once a month, you have to drive from Sioux City to Dubuque for the rest of your life. Once a month, all gas is expensed. Or every single day for the rest of your life, you have to wake up and go to your dishwasher full of wet Tupperware and put it away.
It's like the lesser of two evils at this point. That's like two nightmare scenarios. Highway 20 will always go down as one of my least favorite highways, not because of how it's constructed, but just because there's nothing to look at and it feels like it's never ending. If you miss a gas station, the likelihood of you relieving yourself is almost impossible. So I'm probably going to have to go with wet Tupperware. That's something that I've gotten pretty good at, is emptying that dishwasher. I just don't know if I can handle Highway 20 every month.
God, every day for the rest of your life, you have to wake up and go to your dishwasher.
Is it
gallons of water? First thing, you have to do it first thing in the morning. Okay. Every day for the rest of your life. I think I'd lose a psychotic breakdown after week 2. There's no way, dude. I hate wet Tupperware more than anything, but I also hate driving Highway 20 more than anything in this world too. And nothing's more straight shot from Sioux City to Dubuque, and I hate straight shots. I like curves. You don't get a lot of that in Iowa, but Highway 20 is as straight as it gets. That's a funny story. So back in, when we talk about the gas problem in Highway 20, back in 2000, and maybe, I'm trying to think when I graduated, 2012, 11, Iowa was an NIT tournament versus Dayton. And that was big news back then because Iowa could never make postseason basketball. So Michael and our older friend of ours, who was a senior in high school at the time, Joey Farrell, meteorology guy now right now. He's killing it right now. We drove down to that game, and on the way back, it was nighttime. We're trying to get back for school the next day too, so we got to get back at a decent time. And we were as close as you could ever be to not getting gas or running out of gas. And we had our parents looking up, trying to find gas stations for us. I mean, we cut it down the very slims of margins. It was hilarious, but a lot more going on that. And then he left. And then he left
with fire.
And then he left his wallet on top of the car after we got the gas, and we were like a half hour away once he realized, "Where's my wallet?" So then we had to drive back to the Steamboat Rock, I believe it was, and get the wallet. But no, Highway 20.
And you got the wallet?
Yeah, we got the wallet.
Okay,
couldn't believe it.
That's
and
Michael.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think I'd have to drive it once a month.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate wet
you're up
Tupperware
in
so
Cedar
much.
Falls, so I mean, you do it all the time anyway. It's something that we have to do quite a bit too, visiting Darian's family up in Denver, Iowa. So yeah, I'm no stranger to Highway 20. I don't know. If I can avoid it, I will. And you know, I already have to do the dishwasher anyway, so I think I'm going wet Tupperware.
Fair enough. All right, we're going to jump into a little sports here, but before we get into some sports, we have a friend of ours.
We sure do. And today, Atlantic Bottling has supplied me with the Rain Energy. Coming off the holiday season, expecting greatness. Like there was no chance that it was only going to be Body Armor today. I needed a little kickstart. Atlantic Bottling Company has helped us take this pod to the next level through Body Armor Water, Body Armor Regular, and some Rain Energies. So today, I'd like to thank Atlantic Bottling for giving me the energy to complete the pod.
Does Atlantic Bottling do IVs? Because what I need right now is a big IV of one arm of Body Armor and then the other arm of Rain Energy just going straight into my veins.
That would be an elite day. No, they should start doing that. I know that they've done now the Body Armor Light, which is their version of the liquid IV, but you're talking about an actual IV.
I want it straight needle into my veins.
We can pass that up to management. Maybe it gets up the ladder and we can get an idea flowing here.
I'm telling you, I'm struggling right now. Well, the reason I struggle right now because I was so excited for today, and I get more excited than anyone because we're gonna do some bar hopping here for the Iowa football game, and I just couldn't sleep last night. That's why I'm so tired. I didn't do anything last night. No drinking, just watch the Vikings. Shout out to your Vikings, by the way.
Yeah, dude, it's getting scary.
Good,
I need
in a good way. I need Jefferson to get a few more catches. I'm in 2 leagues right now, and I'm in 2 championships for fantasy football. Incredible to have 2 teams in 2 fantasy championships. One I already lost. I even had Baker Mayfield put 45 for me, and I'm still going to lose in that league. But the other one, I'm up 3 points, and I need tonight's game. He's got Amos St. Brown. I have George Kittle left. I'm up 3. So it's neck and neck. Amos projected like 3 more points, but what you're likely going to need here is a George Kittle tutty to seal the deal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that, like, Kittle scoring a touchdown is probably as equal to or better odds. And they're down. You know, if you've been watching NFL football, the Niners are down every player in the book. So Kittle's going to be a top target. I actually don't hate your chances here.
And, Dan, because the Lions don't need to play this game. They're obviously.
Either way, it's decided. The NFC North and the conference is decided next week. So it's interesting. I wonder how much Amon-Ra even risks getting.
I was going to say maybe like a half or 3/4, and then I don't know. We'll see. But Dan Campbell goes for on 4th and 1 on his own 1-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
So
good luck.
We'll see. I don't know. Yeah, shout out to George Kittle. Get the job done for me tonight. Iowa State is Pop-Tart victorious, Bryce, defeating Miami 42-41. What an awesome game this was. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when they announced the bowl selection, how perfect of an opportunity this was to wash out that bad taste from the Big 12 championship. And not only do you wash it out, but you wash it out in dramatic Iowa State finish where they've had so many clutch drives, Rocco Beck especially, and he goes down and capitalizes this game, which there was no defense played in this game at all, but whoever had the ball likely at the end was going to win this game. I know Miami had the ball at the end without their starting quarterback, Cam Ward, but Iowa State held on just enough and in a fashion. In my favorite bowl game outside of the college football playoffs. Shout out to the Clones.
So awesome. Pop-Tart Bowl took over the internet, and rightfully so. So awesome. We previewed it a little bit, and I hadn't watched a lot of Pop-Tart Bowls in the past. The working toaster, the sacrifice at the end, Pop-Tarts wearing their wrapping and ripping it off, like bringing the strawberry Pop-Tart back. I don't know how you weren't hyped up to play in this game. And seeing a guy like Cam Ward quit early, it's just sad to see. Like that bowl game deserves so much more respect than a guy quitting at halftime. But shout out to the Cyclones. I love watching Rocco Becht play football.
Man, God, I wish I would have had someone like that or an offense like that.
I know.
Because when I was down 10 at some point, it's over. But you never knew this game was over. Even when Iowa State got down 10, you're like, no, you should go down and score right down the next play. And Rocco finishes 23 for 35, 270 yards, 3 tutties, and a rushing TD on that 4th and 1 attempt at the end of the game to get the 1-point lead. And then Carson Hansen has really emerged here in the second half of the season. Give him 16 attempts for 82 yards and 2 tutties. And Jalen Noel doing Jalen Noel things, baby. 8 receptions, 117 yards, 1 touchdown. He had that huge 3rd and long conversion from Rocco Becht down the sideline stretch on that game-winning drive, too.
Yep. Yeah, no, Hansen has really emerged for so much of the season. It was Noel and Higgins opted out of this game, which is very common to do when you're not playing for a championship and you've got pretty high draft stock. This was definitely a lot of Rocco and Noel, but man, Hansen has emerged. Like he is making some clutch runs.
How many game-winning drives did Rocco Becht lead this year? I know you had one against Central Florida. I'll give him the one against Iowa, too. You had one in the Miami Bowl. I mean, what a best career in Iowa State history. I don't care. I mean, they finally got that big dub against Miami because obviously you lose Texas, Oklahoma. They're in the Big 12. So your schedule doesn't look as sexy. But I don't care. You put 11 teams in front or 13 teams in front of it, and you won 11 of them against a Miami top 5 at one point in the country.
Yeah, they were up in the playoff until the very end when they lost to Syracuse in that ACC right before the ACC championship. So yeah, that was a great team. Even with Cam Ward out, that That was a great Miami team. You brought up an interesting point. Is this the most? I mean, obviously, most wins in school history. You cap it off with a bowl victory. Is this the most successful Iowa State team?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It's hard to argue against it
Some are,
because
some are arguing, is this the best Iowa State team? Most
yes,
athletic.
that's the argument.
Because obviously you look at Purdy's senior year, they were loaded, underachieved, but you played against much great competition throughout the year. I don't know. That's still good. I give it all to Iowa State. These guys clutched it every single game they had to.
I would argue that some of those teams were better, but at the end of the day, you're going to look back in history and see 11 wins and a bowl victory, and I think you have to give it to this team. And they were fun to watch, man. This was like we're kind of seeing it. Like there's some Big 12 moments where there's not a lot of defense, and there's maybe the top to bottom isn't as strong, but you can't argue that a lot of the Iowa State games were a lot of fun to watch. You mentioned all the comeback victories, lots of points. I think it should be said too, like, yes, Miami had some guys opt out. So did Iowa State. Some of their top defenders were opted out of this game. So there was going to be some points scored. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Iowa State lost their star. I think he's safety or linebacker. I'm not sure what position he played, but their senior captain to a leg injury there late in the second half. And it's exactly the reason why I bet on Iowa State money line this game, because they're fun to watch. I knew I was going to get my money and entertainment out of this by hammering Iowa State money line. I didn't know if they actually had a chance, but I looked forward to it, and I got every single cent worth, and I times and a half my money. So shots of clones for taking care of the bank account. I got juice today to bet on the Hawks money line. Iowa State not only beat Miami, Bryce, but they beat a 9-year college football tight end veteran. Tight end Cam McCormick ends his 9-year college career after that Pop-Tart game.
Isn't that nuts? And I've seen so many tweets that are just like, hey, like he feels so bad that his career's ending. Just let him keep playing. Who cares at this point?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. College sports nowadays is a professional level. Yeah. So I'm not really surprised to see this. I'm a little surprised I haven't heard more about this guy.
I did hear about him some the last couple of years, just because they were kind of like laying out all of his injuries / COVID years, and like somehow it mathed out that he could have 9 years of eligibility. So like just an insane tenure at the U.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll jump over to the Iowa here. By the time you guys hear this podcast, the game will be over and finished. So you guys get to hear our predictions and judge us the second this game ends. Iowa to face off against number 19 Missouri in the Music City Bowl. It looks like there's a shit ton of Hawk fans down there in Nashville. I considered going, but I looked at the weather. I thought it was going to be a high of 48 every day, so knocked out of it. So shout out to the Hawk fans that made the trip down there. They'll face off 9-3 Missouri. Okay. Missouri is favored by 2.5 points. I think it jumped back up to 3 this morning. Give me a quick prediction on this game.
Early in the season, I was pretty high on Missouri, and I was hurt. Missouri hurt me several times. Once against South Carolina, where they, I think, maybe scored 10 points. When they faced really good opponents, they have not been very good. And I think that it favors Iowa to have a team that isn't so offensive focused. I think that Mizzou's strength probably comes on defense. Now, that being said, I haven't seen Mizzou play in person or really since like week 3. So I haven't seen a lot of recent Mizzou. I think if Iowa has a couple scores in this game, we have as good a chance of winning as they do.
Hey, you got Brendan Sullivan. I like to see Brendan Sullivan. Shout to Jackson Stratton for not losing any Iowa inning games, but he's not a dude you want going in there trying to beat Missouri. He did just enough to get the Iowa with the 8-4 record and that win against Nebraska. But God, you not having Caleb Johnson hurts you. I don't you gotta Jacob Gill's got to have a career day, or running backs. Sullivan's got to run for a shit ton. You got to no turnovers.
LaShawn, Jazian, Patterson.
LaShawn transferred, bro.
LaShawn's out. Patterson.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Okay. You know, the one thing with Iowa, and it's been this way since I've been watching, is that they have like 3 or 4 running backs that could be starters. So I'm not too worried. And sometimes these bowl games are fun. Like a few years ago, watching LaShawn and the other Williams break out. Like you never know who you might see. And if anything, this might be like the coming out party for a running back next year.
Yeah, being overshadowed by Caleb Johnson all year, you finally get your golden opportunity, and today's your day for that for sure. Give me Missouri to win this game at the end. However, I'm going to be hammering the Hawks money line.
Yep.
And each beer I have, I will slowly keep dipping my foot into that money line. But I don't know. I did, like I said, obviously they stand a chance. Iowa stood no chance against Tennessee last year when you're such a high-powered offense and such a mismatch. But Missouri isn't quite at that tier in the SEC level, which Iowa has a chance against, especially if their defense stouts up today. So you're going to need Jaden Higgins. You're going to need some interceptions. You're going to need turnovers. You're going to have to play pretty perfect executed game when it comes to that matter. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah, for sure. And like we said, you'll
All
already
games
know.
have been close. It's been unbelievable.
Yeah, you might have to do a little recap for Instagram and TikTok after the game and just let people know that our prediction was right or wrong and just, what happened in this game.
Yeah, I'll jump on halftime, do a little thing on the Instagram story.
Okay.
See how I'm feeling about the game. All the bowl games this year have been nuts. They've been awesome.
Yeah,
so
they've been really good.
Which is rejuvenating to see because with the 12-team playoff this year, you figured there'd be less attention towards the bowl games. I don't think I've ever paid more attention to bowl games than I have this year. In recent years.
There's in years past, there's so many that you almost are like you're waiting for those Rose Bowl and Orange Bowl and championship matchups. So it's like I've almost been paying more attention. One thing I did notice is that the two Heisman candidates at Colorado did not perform very well, and it brings the Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter and his kids' era to an end. I believe Deion probably isn't going anywhere, but his kids are moving on. That did not look like a first-round draft pick performance from Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, but overall, the bowl games have been good.
Yeah, I had a money on Toledo last week. I sat at home on I don't know what day it was, but anyways, Toledo played. Who was it? Pittsburgh, and one of the Bulls in Detroit, and I sat there and watched it from 1 to 5 for 4 straight hours, and my wife, actually 1 to 6, it was 5 straight hours. My wife got home from work. She's like, "What'd you get done today?" I'm like, "Oh, I just watched Toledo play football for 5 straight hours and win in 6 overtimes." And I had Toledo money line. I never felt like a piece of shit in my life, but I got some money.
Is that the 5 OT game?
It was a 6 OT game.
6 OT. Yeah. See, there's one thing about this damn Christmas break. It has been that Darian and I'm sure wives around the world are just sick of football with Christmas Day football and then Thursday night and then you have bowl games on Friday and then more NFL on Saturday and Sunday. It's getting ridiculous. Like I know that wives are pissed.
Yeah, and you can tell that it's sucking the soul out of me. Thank anyone for tuning in today. Thanks for hanging in today. We're going to be back to shape hopefully next week. Football's just sucked the soul out of me and my life out of me, but I love it. Love every single second of it. It's got your boy a little tired. We're going to march through today. My brother and I are going to be going bar hopping today here in Cedar Falls. We're fired up the game. He's going to be hopping over here the next half hour. We're going to start our day off at the old Mexican restaurant in Hudson, Iowa. Nice. You know me, Bryce. I'm going to get my tacos, get my fix in. Get a few drinks there. I might dip into some margaritas, hopefully no tequila. And after we get some good tacos in, and we're gonna march up north. The old Zavoo's out by Shields. Play a little pool there. And at that time, we're gonna do one bar at a time. We might have time for one more bar after that. We'll make our way back to my crib where I got a nice case of Michelob Ultra waiting for us in my basement. Next, freshly set up to my new ping pong table. I just got too.
Yeah. How's the ping pong going?
Awesome. I love it. I'm a huge ping pong guy. I used to do intramurals in college. At one point, I had a 120-game win streak. I don't know if you ever knew that, Bryce.
I did know that, yeah.
Yeah, and Ben Mossman, shout out to Ben Mossman. I took it out of me at the REC on UNI's campus. I talked so much shit. He got me the first game he played me. So I was beating up on all my Algona friends for years and finally took my talents outside of Algona and took an L. But it was good competition. But we're currently 5-0. I don't think I'll ever lose a game here. I got Ben Creek talking a lot of shit. Whatever. If I got to bring this ping pong table to him or bring him up here, he's going to get spanked 100 games out of 100.
Yeah, no offense to Ben, but I think your streak's going to stay alive. And that Ben Mossman, man, he can sneak up and get you. He's good at those sneaky random skills.
Yeah, he's
That's
got
awesome.
great hand
I'm actually kind of, if I could put my money on somebody, I think it'd be Madison. She shares home court advantage. She'll have lots of time to practice on weekends. I think that she might get you maybe not early in the year, but I hope by Q2 of this next year.
She's sneaky. She'll hit some good shots. Like the better shots I hit, the better she plays too. So I almost don't want to play too well. I got to keep it at a medium level to keep her.
Well, and think about this.
Not
You're
so
training
highly.
every time you're playing
I
against her.
know.
You're training her. So I think that's why I'm putting my money on Madison.
We'll see. Currently 5-0. We're going to test Colby. Colby's usually within the 6-7 point spread. So
Okay.
there's been times that he gets up there.
Good.
So I'll keep you on track today. Drake Bulldogs. Shout out to them again. Move up to 12-0. They defeat Belmont here, 65-46. Belmont moves to 9-4. Drake undefeated Dogs. I think there's still one of 4 teams left. One of these other teams eventually got to lose. But the one thing I want to talk about this game is that Belmont, the 6 previous games, Bryce scored 84 points, 93, 82, 99, 83, and 89, and they dropped 46 against Drake last night.
Yep. Yeah, another like resounding victory, and the recipe for success just continues for Drake. It's like the exact same freaking recipe every single game, and it's working. And to hold a team that's averaging 88 points a game to 45, 46, it's amazing.
It's absolutely astounding. I mean, this is what I'm telling you right now about Drake basketball, people. Hop on. They have a star player. Bennett Sturts is arguably going to be the MVP this year. He had 20 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, while stunting these Belmont guys down to 46 points. Hop on, people. I'm sick of this. No more waiting. Get on.
Okay, I mean, you heard it. I'm in. Michael pretty much had me convinced. Mr. Admire convinced me last week, but that speech right there fired me up. I'm ready to be on the bandwagon. And Nate, it kind of reminds me of like those Hawkeye teams that would score like 88 points a game and then start in Big Ten play, and a Michigan State or Wisconsin would hold them down to like 45. The recipe for Drake is what's exciting. It's like consistently Sturts at 18 to 24 points, Mascari hitting a couple threes, the big fella getting a bunch of rebounds, and then just playing like great defense. That to me is a winning formula.
So well rounded. Their depth is the weak point. We talked about that with Admire. So very incredibly well rounded and consistent. That's all I've wanted for my entire life, Bryce, when cheering for a sports team, is someone to be consistent. And no one's been more consistent than your Drake Bulldogs here in the last half decade. It's been unbelievable. Now look at this year. They're doing the defensive end. They're doing the offensive floor when they have to. These boys are getting dubs and moving on. So, again, shout out to them. Shout out to Michael Admire if you're listening to this. Love you, buddy. Let's go Drake Bulldogs.
It's fun. I hope to get to the Nap Center within I'm going to give myself a month. And I'd love to go to a game together. I think I need to have some of your intel, because one thing that's really pissing me off about this Drake season, none of them are on TV. You have to have ESPN Plus. So it looks like one of their next conference games is like January 5th. It's going to be my first time really getting a full look at these Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's the only reason I got ESPN Plus to tune into these dogs. I would say I'm not going to jump into that, but I would say it has a huge game tonight at Colorado. We talked about that on the previous podcast, how it might be kind of a tricky little water situation for them. We think it's going to be very similar to the Iowa game. Hot stuff from Colorado. We hoping that Iowa State can pull away if their dominance there at the end of the game. But it's going to be a tough environment.
Yeah, they've got,
are thirsty.
You start this conference play, starts to become kind of a savage little blood fest. Colorado, Kansas coming up soon. These are games that they 100% can win, but they're going to get tougher.
Yeah. Like we said, with these new alignment of the conferences, it's just going to be cannibalism on every single one. They're so big. You're playing all these teams maybe one time, so you don't get a double shot at them. It'll be curious. Like I said, I still think the Big 12 is the best team, even though the SEC is completely rocking the basketball world right now with their rankings and everything. But keep an eye on the Big 12 here. I think by come time March, they'll have the majority of the teams in the NCAA tournament. Bryce, we'll be ranking our top 5 Iowa Town nicknames.
Okay. You sent me this the other day, and I had these nicknames wrapped up pretty quickly, which was nice, because sometimes I'm struggling to find my list. But today, I like what I got.
All right, go ahead and lead us off.
I'm going to start off with one that could maybe go either way. Cedar Rapids, Cedar Crapids, and sometimes just called Crapids. One of my favorites.
It's always the dirty towns in Iowa that are taking the brunt of these nicknames. Would you agree? You're
Yeah,
gonna find
yeah.
that. You're gonna find that on my list. So if you listen to our top 5 worst towns, it's probably gonna be very similar to our top 5 nickname towns. My number 5 here, Bryce, is it's not a dirty name actually. It's my only one that's not a dirty name. The gradient in town. Give me Charles City, aka the Chuck City.
Chuck City.
I love old Chuck City, baby.
Yeah, I'm actually a fan too. Shout out to We Are CC. Um, good town. We went over there for Ragbri a couple years ago. It was really the first time I'd spent more than a few hours in Charles City, and it's nice. It's a nice little place.
We got a little brewery there. That's about the only reason in there.
Yeah.
I just like calling it Chuck City. It's funny.
Yeah, little river walk, little brewery. Nothing, typical small town.
Yep. My number 4 here. Give me Skankany.
Yes, good one. Mm-hmm. Yep. And basically every Des Moines nickname is some play on promiscuous women, which is kind of unoriginal. So I like that you put it at 4. I think that Des Moines needs to figure out a way to not be so derogatory towards women. But yeah, it's a good one. Can I go with Lames for number 4? Is that acceptable?
You might take a little heat, but that's a very popular one too out there.
Yeah, I'll take heat for now. I think number 3, I might redeem myself and be a little bit more partisan.
Okay. Yeah, because you're gonna. What? Oh, I should have followed back for number 4, but mine.
You did.
No, you follow back with 3. So what's your 3?
Iowa shitty.
Iowa shitty. Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Just
classic
quality. Yeah. Iowa State and Iowa banter. Iowa shitty and Lames.
Yep. Number 3, give me Mason shitty.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that the only 2 city towns in Iowa? Mason City and Iowa City? Is there another city?
No,
there's like Prairie City.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But it's definitely anytime you have city at the end of your name and there's a town next door that doesn't like you, you're going to be nicknamed shitty.
You could be the cleanest town in the world. You're getting shitty pit at the end of you.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Lames in Iowa City, but they just get good nicknames.
Number 2 probably takes more heat out of any town in the state of Iowa. Give me Dirty Dodge, a.k.a. Fort Dirty.
Yes, and that's my number 2 as well. And it's just fun because Dirty Dodge is so easy to shit on. And, it's, what is it, the Flahertys?
The Flatteries. The Flattery Mafia.
Yeah. I mean, the
Moonlight Graham show guy. Love them.
Yep. And they're kind of the only people keeping that city upright, I think.
Absolutely, they are. Shop and Taco Tico.
Yes. Yep. Couple good things up there, but man, there's just weird amounts of violence, and it is just kind of a rundown little town.
All right, I'll go with my number 1, and we'll have you close out this segment, Bryce. My number 1 is Cedar Ratchet.
Okay,
nice.
It
it deserves that nickname, and it should be the name of that city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is Ratchet, and such an easy one to name play with, and such an easy one to make fun of because it stinks, literally smells terrible, and then just it's just it is what it is.
They call it the city of 5 smells.
Yeah. But also one of my favorite I don't know if you call that a nickname, but a great slogan. Mm-hmm. My number 1 is Muscastink.
Yep.
Instead of Muscatine. And these industrial towns that actually get stuff done and make the world go round just get a bad rap because anything industrial is going to smell bad.
Especially if you're right on the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just going to smell. Hey, good list.
Shorter episode today. Like I said, your boys are recovering from the holidays and all the football that's been put into our bloodstream. Hang in there. Got one more football game here for your Hawk fan, and we'll be jumping solely into basketball. But we're looking to close out 2024. Good year, Bryce?
Yeah, it was a good year. I do want to kind of wrap this thing off with a big sports prediction for next year. It doesn't have to be both teams. It can be like one team. But what's your biggest prediction for 2025 in Iowa sports?
I'm trying not to stay biased with Iowa. I think the Hawkeye men's basketball team is going to be really good next year. I think you're looking at a 4 seed in the tournament. That's my bold prediction.
So March Madness 2026, you'll see the Iowa Hawkeyes in the tournament
at a 4 seed.
Okay, I love that
because they're basically just losing Peyton Sanford this year.
Cool. I'm going to go with the Cyclones. I think that Iowa State makes the college football playoff next year. And I think that this current Iowa State Cyclones team makes it the Elite Eight. I'll eat my words. I think that these guys are going to be clutch. I think they're going to get past the Sweet 16. That's my prediction.
If there's a year to do it, this is the year.
The
boys basketball team. I mean, they're loaded. All depends on your draw, though. You know the NCAA tournament is unforgiving, unlike any tournament out there. So, overall, I just hope for good sports here for everyone out here. It makes the state fun. Shout to hopefully Drake keeps riding their success. Hop on the bandwagon, people. And everyone, hope you had an awesome 2024 season. Bundle up. Looks like 2025 is going to start with a little bit of cold. We've got the polar vortex heading its way here in about 2 weeks of negative 40-degree temperatures. We'll keep an eye on that here the next show when we have a little bit more accurate outline for that. But everyone, have yourself a day. Be ready to trash on us when our predictions come out here after the Iowa game.
Adios.